In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at more video game Easter eggs that you may not know, or at the very least, may have forgotten. As always, I've chosen a variety of different games, some well known, some not so well known. If you enjoy videos about Easter eggs and hidden details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, and without further delay, let's get started. So it's not uncommon for developers to cut corners when they think a player won't see something. I mean, it makes sense. Why spend valuable time and resources creating something that 99% of players won't even notice? Well, that's what I think that this next Easter egg might be. You see, during the El San Hombre mission in Modern Warfare 2, if you make your way to the roof and look really, really closely, you can see this. So from a distance, this would look like a normal helicopter, but if you take a closer look, you can see that it's actually a fish made to look like a helicopter. Now, whether this was just a way for the devs to save on resources or just a really, really well hidden Easter egg, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's pretty cool. Now, celebrity cameos in games are becoming more and more common. Well, to be honest, most of the cameos I find nowadays feature a larger-than-life noodle-loving streamer, but you get my point. Well, if I had to pick the game with the most random of celebrity cameos, I think it would have to be Gas Station Simulator. When ordering a fuel delivery, one of the drivers is this guy. So I can't be the only one that thinks that this driver looks exactly like Elon Musk. I mean, quite why he's delivering fuel to my gas station in the middle of nowhere, I don't know. Now, the cool thing about the Easter eggs found in the Battlefield series are that they are so memorable that once you see them, you will almost certainly not forget them. With that being said, I'm kind of hoping that a lot of you forgot about this next Easter egg, despite it being one of the best Easter eggs in the entire series. On the Al Marj encampment and province maps in Battlefield 5, you can find a book called M1 Garand, The Magic That Won the War. Well, if you manage to find one of these books whilst in a squad of 4, you can actually interact with it, which will cause this to happen. So it turns out that the M1 Garand really was magic, as interacting with the book now grants you the power to reload the weapon with your mind, which just looks so damn cool. Now, I'm guessing that everyone watching this video has heard of Easter eggs before. I mean, you're watching a video about Easter eggs, so either you know what they are or you're very confused right now. Well, in Bus Simulator 18, you can't find an Easter egg, but you can find an Easter salad. At this location on the map, you can find this. So hidden some way off the beaten path is a giant lettuce, with the explanation being that the artist ran out of eggs, so they used a giant salad item instead, which is pretty funny. Now, back in the day, it was pretty common for games to take shots at other games, and this next Easter egg is one of the most in-your-face video game insults of all time. During the Mad Dogs Rhymes mission in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you can hear this.
Sucks! How can refractions mess up so bad? Tanner, you suck ass!
So the person on the couch saying that refractions really messed up and that Tanner sucks ass is a reference to the video game developer's Reflections and the poorly received Driver 3, which saw you playing as John Tanner. What's funny is, it was actually Reflections who started this whole thing by including Timmy Vermicelli, who was a Hawaiian shirt wearing NPC seen in Driver 3 that could be found wearing water wings, which was a shot at the fact that Tommy Vercetti from Vice City couldn't swim. I mean, it's a pretty decent roast. That was until GTA went on to become one of the best video game series of all time, and Driver didn't. Now, if you've never heard of Brazilian Root, I wouldn't blame you. It's a somewhat janky first-person shooter that is sometimes stupidly hard. But if you can make it all the way to the game's 3rd level, you can find this.
Vem me pegar, filha da puta! Pega esse verme, filha da...
Now, given Brazilian Root's janky nature, at first I thought this was a glitch. But no, these are just synchronized swimming fish, which isn't something you see every day. So if you're anything like me, then when you're stuck in one of the older Resident Evil games, you just walk around the environment spamming the interact button until something happens. I mean, granted, it's not the most subtle of methods, but it does get the job done. Well, the reason I bring up my brutish ways of playing older Resident Evil games is because to me, it's the only explanation for how this next Easter egg was ever found. You see, in Resident Evil 2, you would find yourself in the STARS office, where you could search Albert Wesker's desk. But it seemed like you were late as it had already been trashed. Well, if you were sure there was more to find here, you could just keep searching. And if you searched the same desk 50 times, you would eventually find a film. Luckily for us, the RCPD comes with its own darkroom, which you can use to develop the film. Well, it turns out that on the film is a picture of 18-year-old rookie STARS member Rebecca Chambers in a skimpy basketball uniform. Now, quite why this was found on Wesker's desk, who had to have been pushing 40 during the events of the game and let's not forget was Rebecca's boss, I don't know. And given how things turned out for Wesker, I'm not sure we'll ever find out. So I love Chivalry 2. And in fact, I've been playing it recently to record some Easter eggs that I missed back when the game released, or have been added in updates. But one of my favourite Chivalry 2 Easter eggs is actually pretty small. On the courtyard map, you can find this. So these three skeletons are a reference to Futurama, and the men who had their pelvises crushed by the Amazonian women during a rough session of, snoo-snoo.
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
Yes!
Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
Now, you might think that a game all about tapping a jar of mayo isn't going to be hiding any Easter eggs. I mean, it's literally a game about tapping a jar of mayo. Well, after tapping the jar well over 7,000 times, you are given the job of walking a really long distance whilst playing as the jar. And it's during this relaxing walk that you can encounter this. So this glowing green alien is the same alien seen in The Simpsons. In the show, it was discovered that the alien was in fact Mr. Burns, who had taken so much medication that he started to wander the woods at night whilst emitting a strange green glow. Now, Clone Drone in the Danger Zone is full of moments where the game, or usually the game's commentators, will acknowledge your actions. And usually these moments are pretty funny.
Perhaps the human thinks we will get bored.
It is mistaken. We have rich inner lives.
Yes, very rich.
Well, Clone Drone isn't just home to sarcastic robots. It's also home to a very well hidden Easter egg. During Chapter 2, Part 7, you can find this.
Hello! Hello, human! We are War Cubes!
What is going on here?
I have no idea.
Easter Bot 4000 trapped us in this room! Thank you for freeing us! We will never forget you!
Okay, that was pretty strange.
Yes,
I didn't even know Easterbot 4000 was back in the city.
it came in with the last update.
Weird robot.
Very.
I mean, admittedly, the commentators make this Easter egg 10 times better, but even without their input, it's still a really well hidden secret. Now, this next Easter egg references one of the most tragic TV show moments of all time. During the sabotage quest in Starfield, you can find this. So on the floor, you can find a dropped pot of... Well, to me, this looks like shit, but for the purpose of the Easter egg, let's just call it chili. Anyway, this dropped pot of chili is a reference to this heartbreaking scene from the US Office.
I'm serious about this stuff. I'm up the night before, pressing garlic.
Now, the best way to rub salt into an already very, very big wound in For Honor is to execute your opponent. It's the perfect way to let your enemy know that you are a much better person than they will ever be. Well, take a look at the Instant Regrets execution and see if you can spot the reference. So what do you think? Well, this execution is a reference to this scene from the brilliant Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Respect if any of you got this one right. Now, as a kid, the way that we settled beefs wasn't with guns, knives, or even our fists. It was with worms. Worms was the ultimate way to know who your true allies were, because let me tell you, nothing hurt more than watching two friends team up to take your worms down. Well, it turns out that I'm not the only one that remembers the Worms series fondly, as on the Kursk map in Hell Let Loose, you can find this. Now, RuneScape is a game that terrifies me. You see, as someone who gets addicted to things really quickly, I just know that RuneScape could ruin my life. That's why for this next Easter egg, and this next Easter egg alone, I actually had a friend record it for me. Besides, I don't have the thousands of hours required to get good at this game. Anyway, this is Name Mayo, and when you approach him, he seems to be reciting a song about somebody called Stan. Well, if you speak to him, he will say this.
A visionary, vision is scary, can start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel.
So Name Mayo is RuneScape's version of Eminem, and I'm not entirely sure where RuneScape takes place, but I'm guessing it's a long way from Detroit. Now, the Hitman series is known for some pretty wild Easter eggs, but this next Easter egg is seriously wild. During the New Life mission, 47 has to infiltrate the home of ex-mobster Vinny Sinestra. Well, if you snatch the microfilm necklace and then use both bottles of lighter fluid to sabotage the barbecue, when Mrs. Sinestra next fancies a burger, this will happen. I mean, if anyone has an explanation for this, please let me know, because I am so confused. So the appearance of NPC children in games is pretty rare. I mean, the reasons are obvious, but some games aren't shy about including kids, and one of those games is High on Life. When you first enter the slums, this little guy will jump out in front of you and then do his best to annoy you. Now, it's entirely possible to ignore him and go on about your day, but if you try to shoot him, this will happen.
Look at fresh meat getting flustered by little.
Whoa, what are you doing? Come on, he's just a kid. Don't shoot him.
Oh, you don't want to shoot me just because your gun said not to, just because you're your little gun. Oh, but you look how shootable I look. I look so shootable.
I am not shooting a kid.
Go ahead, do it. Shoot me, fresh meat. Shoot me. See what happens. Oh, don't I look so shootable? Ah, you shot me, I'm dead.
All right there, are you happy now? Wow, I didn't think we'd be allowed to kill him. Normally, killing children in games isn't allowed, but he's dead. We killed this kid. Are you happy now? We killed a kid. A kid is dead now. There goes our E for everybody rating.
So taking him down will reward you with the Fallout doesn't let you do this achievement, which is pretty funny. Now, despite Rocket League being a game set in very small arenas, you're actually able to explore the surroundings of these arenas as much as you want. And it's here that we can find our next Easter egg. On Deadeye Canyon, you can find an egg chilling by a fire. Now, Metro Exodus is already a pretty strange game, but this next Easter egg makes it 100 times stranger. When exploring, you can find a jerry can which can be used to refuel a nearby generator. After topping up the generator, you can then flick a couple more switches to get the power up and running, before eventually finding this. Now, maybe I missed something, but I'm pretty sure that this guy is never explained. If I had to guess, I would say that it's most likely a Frankenstein reference, but I'm not 100% sure that's what this is meant to be. As always, if you have any theories as to who this man is, let me know in the comments. Now, you know that you've created an iconic Easter egg when other games reference your Easter egg. When trying to break out the MI6 base in Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, you can find this. So it seems that the person pulling all the strings isn't a person at all. It is in fact a dog. which is a reference to one of these secret endings seen in Silent Hill 2. Now, when I first shared this next Easter egg all the way back in 2022, it sparked a lot of discussion, but 3 years later, I still don't think I understand it. At this location on the map in Generation 0, you can find this. So it's a set of stairs in the middle of nowhere, which is already pretty strange, but when you climb the stairs you're struck by lightning and sent falling back down again. Like I said, the theories for this Easter egg were numerous, with many thinking it was a nod to a creepypasta, or some even thinking it was just a glitch. Now that there are way more of you watching these videos, perhaps 2026 is the year that we finally solve this mystery. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Don't forget to scan the QR code and use code CAP to get your gamer subs, and as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.